Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Tuesday, December 17th, 2019. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. You'll notice here that the ES continues to hold near highs. It is currently trading at all-time highs right here, and is holding inside or right at the previous high, basically. And it's currently holding within a very narrow range for the day, 34% of ADR, 10.25 points for the day. And again, that's about a third of average. It's been averaging 30 points per day over the last 10 sessions, basically throughout the month of December. And so right now what you'll see is that price is on a cycle high after the recent pullback, this cycle high right there. And at some point, there could be some reversion to the mean type of idea, which means, after we may go up a little bit higher, we may see some sort of pullback to the mean, say like the 8 period to 21 period averages, very similar to what we did here, or any pullback that we get to the trigger zone here. So we may be getting a little far away and may snap back a little bit at some point, but until that happens, this thing is still trending higher. We still continue to see higher lows day over day, higher highs day over day, and right now we're right at it. And again, we could see further uptrending price action until proven otherwise. Even if we did see the pullback, as I mentioned, that could be a great buying opportunity for a continuation higher, unless this previous high, call it 3155, 3150, fails, in which case that happens here. So even if we were to pull back as deep as 3150, it could still be a great buying opportunity for a continuation higher. This market remains poised higher. On an intraday basis right now, the ES is mostly trading in a range here so far to begin the day, so we could see further range-bound activity with an upward bias. Alright, let's take a look here at the NQ. What you'll see here with the NQ is that after this one pulled back, we got a steady bounce. This one is elongated very nicely at new highs right now, very narrow range, 35% of average range right now. It's been averaging about 100 points, and it's at about 33 points of range today. So right now, this one, again, near a cycle high. 8 period is way down here. 21 is way down here. And so when you get too far away for it, there tends to be a snapback at some point. This one wasn't even far away. And again, we knew there was a pullback coming. So while a pullback may occur at some point, maybe not today, but maybe at some point here in the next few days, anything as deep as 84.50 or so could still be a buying opportunity for a continuation. A failure at that point would open up perhaps a retest of the recent low. So right now everything is still full go ahead to the upside. We have a range bound type of activity here today, so you look to fade the edges with an upward bias. Alright, taking a look now at crude oil. Here's crude oil. I was popping up the chart. There it is. This one's been trending higher. This one got a breakout from that very narrow range. Let me take off this intraday key range here. We had the extreme reversal that played out here. Big pullback on a Friday. The next Monday was an up day, and since then it's been straight up. Straight up. We had a breakout through 2-day highs. We knew that could happen. That was a huge move to reclaim the sell-off point. And then prices went sideways and compressed for 5 days, 6 days. And that breakout here has been slow and steady to the upside. At first it looked like it might be rejecting, but each and every day it continued to push higher and higher. So we're continuing to see this thing push to the upside. We talked about maybe a 4+ point range, 445, something like that. From this 58 low and forecasting it up, 58 plus 4.5 would be about 62.5. So we still have up until 62.5. So another 2 handles of potential upside ahead based off of the compression. And as we know from the low of the month here, we can forecast higher average monthly range. That's 100% of average monthly range. That's 62.63. 75% of average range gets you 60.81. So based on average monthly range, we can get to 62.50 by the end of the month. No sweat, just based on averages here. So it doesn't have to go above and beyond to get that target. So we could certainly keep on pushing toward that 62.5 target that we called out when this thing broke out here. We were looking for 4.45 points. From this pivot low and the breakout here, it gets you to about 62.50. So looking for more upside here. Now, Keep in mind, any failed low could be a good buying opportunity. So say tomorrow, Wednesday, price pushes down through 2-day lows and then forms a tail. That could lead to the next 2 to 3 day bump higher. Very similar to what happened here, basically. It took out 2-day lows, it rejected, and then here's your 4-day move up. So the next pullback, again, could be very similar as this thing continues to walk higher. All right, let's take a look now at gold futures here. Okay, so it's popping up. Here it is. Gold futures very compressed here. Again, this one has been mostly range bound for the better part of 6, 7, 8 weeks, and that's not likely to change at the moment with the market pushing on new highs day over day. It's been very difficult for this one to get going to the upside. So instead, it has been sideways for, again, 6, 7 weeks or so. And this thing is on the verge of perhaps another 1-week meltdown here. Something like that, 5 to 7 days. Because we've got this point here where we're at the upper edge. We've got these very, very clear lower line, and we're kind of in this point here right before it drops. And that's kind of where we are right here. Look at this right there. There's the channel. Here's that lower line, very compressed here, and then it drops. 1425. You have the 200 in there. Where is it going to go? Somewhere in that zone, right? We have this lower line that kind of comes in like this. So we have potentially another push back toward that lower zone. That's what we're going to look for. How's it going to play out here? Are we going to see expansion at some point soon? And if so, which way? Right now, this market has not demonstrated it can get above 1490 or 1495. And instead, right now, we could be a day or two away from seeing some sort of major breakdown where this lower trend line is violated and we see a move lower of 40 points or so. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.